All right.
So I
Okay.
think we'll share actually after I speak.
Okay. So I'm just going to introduce for this part of the award ceremony, Joy Warland, who's the, and I was telling Joy that I was going to write this down because she has such a long title. She is the Library Consultant for Continuing Education and Small and Rural Libraries. And part of her job is administering the Certificate of Public Librarianship program. And she is here today to award those certificates. So there you go.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Of course, we wish we could do this in person and see everybody. And, you know, I just learned that the people used to get free lunch at the conference when they got their certificates. So next time, but in the meantime, thank you so much to VLA for giving us this time to recognize and celebrate this achievement. There are 29 librarians this year who've completed the Vermont Certificate of Public Librarianship, and it might be a record high. So congratulations to all of you. Just a little overview of the certificate program, which most people probably know, but it's been directed for over 25 years by the Department of Libraries, and its goal is to create and sustain consistent professional standards throughout Vermont public libraries, and to provide training to those new to the field and those who haven't had other professional training, and also to amplify the work that many of the people in the program are already doing, because we have a lot of people that have already been working in libraries for a long time, and then this is just some more formal training for them. So that has requirements in 4 areas: cataloging, collection development, information services, and public library administration, and then some credits in library technology, and electives are also required. So it's always a lot of work to do that much work while you're also working in a library, and some people have other jobs as well. And of course, this year had extra challenges. In addition to the obvious extra challenges that everybody knows about, this group stuck with the Department of Libraries through a lot of changes. We were just talking before this started about all the different platforms the Department of Libraries has been through. But even in the last year and during the time that the people have done this certificate that are graduating today, we've gone from in-person workshops to Skype to Teams, and then also the implementation, more recently, the implementation of our online training platform, Niche Academy. So these certificate participants were gracious, they were patient, they were engaged as ever throughout all these transitions. And I feel like we've all learned together how to have some really high quality interactive online learning experiences. So that has been a great thing. So thank you for sticking with us through that. So this group includes librarians from all over the state. 11 counties are represented. They're directors, there's children's librarians, circulation staff, assistant directors, cataloging, and of course, good representation of that Vermont treasure, the solo or almost solo librarian who does all of the jobs. So a huge thank you to the colleagues of these people who supported them through this, the trustees and supervisors who recognized the importance of professional training and made space for this to happen, and to their family members who supported them doing this probably at night and weekends, because we all know that that probably happens sometimes. And I also just want to say thank you to my colleagues at the Department of Libraries who gave workshops, facilitated meetups, ran the chat room, helped people get signed into Teams when it didn't work the first time or the second time, and so forth. And then a special thank you to Jennifer Johnson, who again, like last year, has created a video to celebrate the graduates because we aren't in person. So Jennifer's going to share that now. Thanks again, Jennifer, and enjoy the video.
Okay. Share sound. Share full screen. Can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay. That's it.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, unmute and give a nice, you can clap. Great. That is great. You know, 2020 came and went without any awards, and I think it was all that any of us could do last May, just to keep on keeping on. But when it came to this year and thinking about what awards would look like, somehow the standard awards format just didn't seem to fit. And it seemed to us more appropriate that if someone wanted to acknowledge someone else, that should just happen. So here we are this year with the Everybody Wins Awards, and we have made it through together. So anyone who is nominated, anyone for an award is getting that award. I hope everyone enjoys it as much as I enjoyed putting it together. I've been touched by the creative, funny, and heartfelt awards created, as well as the descriptions of the recipients. We have some of the usual nominations of colleagues for each other, but we also have awards for whole staff, spouses for spouses, proving that librarianship is a family affair. And also, as you'll see, we have a more unusual one, which honors an institution, so to speak. If people feel comfortable sharing their being on camera, that would be great. This whole thing is a little odd anyway, not being able to see people. And then if at the end of each award, if you we can try and unmute for a second to give a cheer and, toast. And maybe that will be a crazy amount of noise, but it's been a crazy year. So, the more noise we can make in celebration of people, the better. So I hope you brought your glass of preferred sparkly beverage. In Vermont fashion, I have my jar of sparkly water in my ball jar, and let's see what we've got with all these fantastic recipients. So, share my screen. Okay. Are we seeing my screen? Yes. Okay. So the first set of, oops. It's not advancing. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I don't know how. Okay. So the first set of awards are not actually really awards. They're more like acknowledgements, and VLA traditionally acknowledges retirees or soon to be retirees. The named individuals are VLA members and have had at least, and in many cases, significantly more than 10 years of employment in Vermont libraries. And this year we are acknowledging Lynn Gately, the adult services librarian at the Kimball Public Library in Randolph, Cindy Karasinski, director of the Cobley Public Library in Lyndonville, Ann Doubleday, the adult services librarian in the Burnham Memorial Library in Colchester, and I hope I do not slaughter her name, but Patricia Marduz, the library associate professor at the University of Vermont. So, and as a, I don't know if you can see, but retirees get this pewter keychain that was made by Danforth Pewter in Middlebury. So congratulations to all our retirees.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
So the first award winner is one of the first that was submitted. And I thought this was such a lovely visual and a lovely award to start with. And so this is Lauren Kelly, the Technical Services Librarian at the Stowe Free Library, who is nominated by her director, Cindy Weber, and she gets the 6 feet distance and silently celebrating graduate degree librarian award. Lauren has been dedicated to her full-time job as Technical Services Librarian while completing her requirements for her Master's of Library Science. Cindy said we would have normally celebrated her graduation with a staff night out, but were unable due to COVID. I'm so proud of her and in awe of her dedication to her profession. She deserves this nomination because she has followed COVID mandates, achieved her goal, and humbly continued providing service. Yay, Lauren!
Lauren! Woo! Yay! Woo!
The next 3 awards were nominated by Mariah Lawrence, who herself deserves to be congratulated as being recently named the director of the Tunbridge Library, and jumping right in as a presenter tomorrow at tomorrow's EDI SJ session. But the first award that Mariah nominated for is for Jean Wolfe, the 37-year librarian at the Tunbridge Public Library. And she is receiving the Sweetest Librarian this side of the Mississippi, maybe both sides award. Mariah says Jean dedicated a large portion of her life to the community of Tunbridge and their library. We are all better because she did. Her knowledge and wisdom are appreciated by all. Thank you, Jean. Yay, Jean!
Woohoo, Jean!
Yay! Woo-woo!
Next up is Marcia Higgins, the assistant librarian at the Tunbridge Public Library. And she is receiving the Assistant Librarian of the Pandemic and Best Person Ever to Share a Desk with award. Marcia knows the readers in her library better than anyone else, is an amazing teacher to all, is full of wisdom, and so enjoyable to be around. Her sense of humor, creativity, flexibility, and ability to stand her ground is inspiring to all. The Tunbridge Library is lucky to have her. Yay!
Awesome, Marsha!
Woo!
Yay, woohoo!
The next Tunbridge Award is to the Trustees Friends of the Tunbridge Public Library, and this may be some other libraries may want to claim this as theirs, but Tunbridge is claiming this for this year, and it's the Best Trustees Ever Award. Mariah says, Anne, Teresa, Mark, Michael, and Anita all go above and beyond in all that they do. Their love and support for the library is felt by all. Thank you, Tunbridge Library trustees. Yay for
Yeah!
trustees. The next three come from Catherine Hayes, the director at Bixby Library for Gens. And the first one is the Bixby Above and Beyond Award to Marcia Hoffman, the trustee, treasurer, volunteer, and friend of the Bixby Library. Catherine says, Marcia Hoffman has gone above and beyond this year as a trusted trustee, a dedicated and patient treasurer, a valued volunteer, a committed friend, a compassionate advisor, and an all-around great fun person. Yay!
Yeah, Marsha!
The next one goes to Ed Place, trustee extraordinaire of the Bixby Library, and he receives the Bixby Building and Tech Champion Award. Ed has led the Bixby out of the technology dark ages during his tenure. This year, he continued to go above and beyond, helping us to further advance our connectivity and productivity for both staff and patrons. He also spearheaded major initiatives to assess the needs of our beloved but aging building, making us shovel ready for the most important projects. In short, he is always there for us, and we couldn't be more grateful. Yay!
Ed!
Yay, Ed!
Yay,
Woo!
woohoo!
Oops. It's not going. Come on, advance. And last but certainly not least, with that beautiful smile, is Becky Johnston, the Assistant Director of the Bixby Library. And as I think we can see by her smile, she is deserving of the Most Positive Attitude During the Pandemic Award. Catherine says, Becky just wouldn't let the pandemic foil her ever-present warm, positive attitude, day in and day out. She was the one to ensure that the circ desk was covered, that patrons were happy, and that volunteers knew they were appreciated. Her social media posts kept all engaged and informed, and her can-do attitude powered through all the operational challenges that COVID posed. We are grateful for all she does and the joy with which she does it. Yay!
Yeah, Becky!
Woo!
The next award was a nomination by Allison Maynard, the director at the Petty Library in Wilmington, and she nominated her assistant librarian, Jennifer Razzie, I hope that's the correct way to say it, the Most Weather-Hardy Librarian Award. Jennifer spent many months outside the library checking people in and out and enforcing safety protocols through many different types of weather, and was always smiling under her mask, of course. Yay!
Yay, Jennifer. Woo.
Okay, so this award started with one award being nominated by Kelly Kendall. And yesterday, somehow magically, it turned into 4 nominations. And here's a picture of the entire staff, but the 4 nominees are in this picture. And so these are the awards for the staff at South Burlington nominated by Kelly. The first one is Catherine Plageman, who is the 3rd from the left in the top row. And she gets the Curbside Queen Award for creating and recreating, then recreating again, a curbside system which enabled South Burlington patrons to get print materials, ebooks, audiobooks, information, and more through COVID-driven closures, 2 brief openings, and the upcoming move to our new library, all while answering the same 3 questions about the book drop. Yay, Catherine.
Woo.
And now
Woo.
Jessica Joyal, who's 2nd from the left in the top row, who's the cataloging specialist at South Burlington, gets the Get Her Done Award for her capacity to get things done with unfailing grace and humor under literally any circumstances. Yay, Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica.
And Jennifer Murray, the library director, gets the Hats Off to You Award. And Jennifer is in the far left standing. For grace under extreme pressure and the successful wearing and juggling of multiple hats, including furniture and carpet choosing hats, COVID mitigation measures hats, a Seussian hat or 4, and a bag and wagon hat. I do not know what a bag and wagon hat is, but now I am very curious. So yay, Jennifer.
Yay, Jennifer.
Yay.
And Susan Bliss, the adult services librarian, who is, I hope, seated on the far right, gets the Thoroughly Moderna Millie Award for her elegant editing, thoughtful processing, and grounded in science navigation. Yay, Susan!
Susan.
Okay, this one was nominated by Anonymous, and this is my very own director, Lucinda Walker, who is getting the I've Seen What She Does It for That Library Award. The nominator says, every library takes a village, and this library is no different. For optimal service, it takes a willing and talented staff. This said, there are bones and brains behind the noticeable hours, and I happen to know that Lucinda puts in a lot of time, many hours at night, to turn the spigot in terms of library service so the community receives the most effective, efficient, and timely resources. During the pandemic year, if your library seemed quieter, it wasn't. With a gifted staff, often working from home, Lucinda worked 3 times harder in the estimation of one colleague. Here's the thing, she does this joyfully. You don't know what you have until a pandemic hits home. Hear, hear. As a colleague, I'm endlessly inspired by her. Yay, Lucinda!
Yeah.
Yay, Lucinda.
And then, so just as Lucinda was acknowledged, she had independently acknowledged her staff with the awesome colleagues of the Norwich Public Library with If It's Wednesday, It Must Be Time to Pivot Award. Lisa, Beth, Nancy, Sydney, and Roger have all shown incredible creativity, flexibility, and grace this past year. At our very first Zoom staff meeting in March of 2020, everyone jumped in to create version 1.0 of virtual NPL. Each week brought tweaks, changes, revisions, overhauls, and so much pivoting. But not once did they ever complain. Well, maybe maybe once. The focus was maintaining library services in whatever way we could, following rules were in place that week. They have done a tremendous job, and our patrons and community have taken note. I am so proud of them and grateful for their ability to pivot while always still smiling. Yay!
Yay!
Public library. Another anonymous nomination, and this is Jessie Lynn, the co-director of the Kellogg Hubbard Library in Montpelier, and she gets the Glue That Holds Us All Together award. Jessie manages the nonprofit entity that is the Kellogg Hubbard Library. Her work is often unseen and frequently unrecognized. She keeps our 125-year-old building in shape, manages more than $150,000 of annual fundraising, makes sure we all get paid, have benefits and retirement plans, and manages every other piece of the business operations of the library. In more than a decade at the library, she has sometimes been the only administrator, literally keeping the lights on for all so that we can do our jobs. The nominator says, thank you, Jessie, for your unflinching dedication to the Kellogg Hubbard Library, for your thoughtful stewardship and your support. Yay!
Yeah, Jessie!
Okay, so this is also an anonymous nomination, and it's for the whole staff of the Brownell Library. And when I was putting this down on into the slide, it just seemed that it captured all our libraries everywhere, but also it read, although not quite in haiku form, like a haiku. And so this is the Librarians Who Rock Award. And so the nominator said, it's been a crazy year. Staff managed library business while shorthanded and under pressure, having no definite answers and figuring out situations as they arose. Few. And so I got all their names off the website. So sorry if I'm missing anybody, but this acknowledges Wendy, Hannah, Megan, Erna, Tracy, Allison, Carol, Sarah, Erin, Vicky, Ashley, Sarah, and Tina. Yay!
Hi, Brownell!
Hey, woo, woo,
Hey,
woo.
Brownell!
This was a nomination by Kara McCalla for the staff and board of the Rutland Free Library, and they received the Professional Service Award. What Karen had to say did not even fit on the whole slide. This is it. The staff and board of the Rutland Free Library worked very hard to plan a possible expansion and relocation of the library to take advantage of a new community center and senior living facility on the old campus of the College of St. Joseph in Rutland. The plan would have provided a more modern, purpose-designed facility for less money than renovations to the current building, saving taxpayer money while expanding services. While many, many community members were excited about the plan, some vocal opponents have stalled action for now. The staff, leadership, and board of the library stayed positive throughout the entire process and modeled community outreach, giving voice to all community members. The dialogue was at times divisive and included personal attacks, but was always handled professionally by all at the Rutland Free Library. All of this on top of maintaining top quality service during a pandemic. Yay, the staff and board of Rutland Free Library.
Yay, Rutland!
Go Rutland.
Okay, so this one is short and sweet, but I love how it also acknowledges patrons who in the end are our reason for being. And so nominated by Anonymous, and weathering the COVID storm with a plum award goes to the staff, trustees, friends, and patrons of Pearson Library. The nominee said, everyone has been so understanding, kind, resourceful, and creative, doing what they can safely to keep children reading, engaging, and meeting, Zooming really, this year. Yay to the Pearson community.
All right, Pearson.
Yay,
Pearson.
Pearson.
Okay, another anonymous nomination, but someone who had a lot of great things to say about their executive director, Bob Jolie of the St. Johnsbury Athenaeum, who receives the Best Director during a Pandemic Award. Bob has been a fabulous leader through this pandemic. Not only did he have us open to the public by June 2020, but he has been concerned greatly with the safety and comfort of all the staff. He realizes the importance of our institution in the community, thus the quick reopening, but has also made sure to have all safeguards in place, following all state mandates and CDC recommendations, and checks in weekly with staff to see how we are feeling and how things are going. He notes community spread and data and does what is best for our community. He has made us feel safe at work and answers any questions or concerns with kindness and compassion. Yay, Bob!
Hey, Bob.
Woo,
Hey,
Bob.
Bob. Woo-hoo.
The next nomination comes from Bree Drappa, and it is for Marie Schmuckel, the director of the Warren Public Library. And the award, I love this award. It's the best person to call at 5 p.m. on a Friday to discuss Library and Life Matters award. And who doesn't need somebody like that? And Bree says, she knows why. Marie is always gracious to lend a listening ear, make you laugh, and be the sounding board that small town librarians need. And since we live basically parallel lives, it works. Yay!
Woo, woo, woo.
The next award was nominated by Lisa Samet, and she's nominating her trustee, Jody Lou Smith, who's the chair of the board at the Judavine Memorial Library. And Jody wins the Courageous Leader of our Expansion Project Award. Lisa says, even though we are in a pandemic, Jody has led our library's expansion project, writing grants, getting support, and leading a successful bond vote. Now, as the bids have come in with a 50% increase in cost, she keeps pushing on. She got the select board to agree to have us sign the construction contract, even though we need to raise more money. She has faith we will raise the rest, and I do too. Yay, Jody!
All right, Jody.
Go,
Yay,
Jody.
Jody.
Nominated by Anonymous, this award goes to Dana Rosicki, the friend of the McCullough Library in North Bennington. And it's hard to say this without choking up, but Dana is getting the Best Friend Award. So that can have many meanings. Whoops. In addition to cheerfully helping with day-to-day chores at the McCullough Library, like taking the recycling to the curb and helping shovel after snowstorms, Dana has single-handedly raised over $15,000 in online rare and antiquarian book sales for the library over the past 5 years. When the pandemic canceled this year's annual book and bake sale event, Dana worked closely with his wife, the McCullough Library's director, to successfully host a virtual auction fundraiser, which raised over $5,000 for community programs, craft supplies, and other items outside of the library's operating budget. Yay, Dana!
Hey, Dana.
Okay, so I think this is a first. I can find library awards from VLA going back to probably about 1970. So we're talking 51 years. And I think this is the first time we have ever had a restaurant and its proprietors nominated for award. But in a year like this one, I think this is pretty apt. So this has been nominated by Jenny Rosicki, the director of the John G. McCullough Library in North Bennington, and it's to Nick and I don't know if she says Lanny or Lonnie DeSorda, at the proprietors of the Pangea restaurant in North Bennington, and they got the Best Community Partner Award. Always strong McCullough Library supporters, Nick and Lanny, have been fabulous to work with through this strange year. When our annual fundraiser gala was canceled 2 years in a row, they initiated gift card fundraisers instead. When we needed bags for book pickup, containers for craft supplies, or disinfectant wipes, they sold them to the library at cost. When the library hosted a Book It style family reading challenge this spring, they made the take-home pizza kit prizes at a very reasonable price. We couldn't have done all we did this past year without their help and support. Yay, Nick and Lanny. The next the next two awards are for two folks who have really kept us all humming along during these strange and often disconnected times. And the first one was nominated again by Bree, and this is to Joshua Muse, our library consultant for library technology. And Josh gets the Maker of Swoon-Worthy Charts and Master of Spreadsheets Award. And Bree says, Josh has kept us all informed through his weekly updates. When his spreadsheets became hard to look at, he was quick to make really awesome charts. Thank you, Josh, for your hard work and flexibility. Yay, Josh!
Swoon worthy.
Gosh.
We're swooning. And Nancy Tizinski, the director in Heartland, wants to acknowledge Jeanette Schaefer, the assistant state librarian for library advancement, and giving her the Weekly Resources Wizard Award. And Nancy says, during this past year, when all of us were navigating mountains of information, Jeanette gathered resources every week for libraries. The resources were categorized, included links, and made my job easier. I looked forward to Jeanette's week email and found timely webinars, ideas for programming, updates on BT Live, and the latest recommendations from the governor's office, and always a few tips for self-care at the end of the email. Thank you, Jeanette. Yay!
Thank you, Jeanette.
Okay, and there's finally one final award. And this award was actually the first award to be submitted, which just shows, I think, how, well, the work that our state librarian does and how much he thinks of us. And so the last award in the 2021 award series was nominated by our own Jason Broughton, and it's to all the libraries of Vermont, and it's the statewide library award. And Jason said, every single library, be it public, school, or academic, worked to ensure their communities were safe and resilient. Additionally, thoughtful and purposeful programming and resources ensured mental health and wellness could be accommodated to the best level possible. So yay to all of us.
All right.
And yay
Woo!
to Jason for being our touch point through this storm. And so I am, oh. I just want to say that I am grateful. I'm always, these things make me very emotional, sorry. I'm grateful to every one of you who has made this crazy pandemic year better. And my profound thanks and admiration goes out to all of you. And this has been putting this together, and indeed all my work on awards and scholarships has been a labor of love. So thank you to everyone, and let's have a big cheer for everyone who is here in this virtual room. And we're almost there, and we've made it through. So thank you so much. Yay!
Yay!
Toast to all, whether it's wine or water.
Great job,